Hi folks, welcome to this revision video which is about comparing percentages, but more about increasing and decreasing percentages as well. So both level 1 and level 2 math students have to be able to do this without a calculator. Right, let's move on. So here's a sample question. This is really more like a level 1 question. It says order the percentages from smallest to largest. So this is an easy 1 mark, so definitely don't leave this one out. They're all percentages, so we just basically ignore the percentages and we just order the numbers from smallest to largest. So for example, this is the smallest one, 52%, and then 55 is next, and then 56 is next, etc., and put the other 2 in. 1 mark, job done. At level 2, they might be a bit more difficult. So for example, let's say you've got 52.75 and 52.15%. If I was going to order those from smallest to largest, well, these numbers are the same, but in this column here, this one is smaller, so this bottom number would come first. Let's move on to a question. An apartment is £75,000 to buy. The mortgage company, these are the people who lend you the money, they need a 15% deposit. Just make sure that you're okay with this word deposit. It always comes up when we talk about money. It's just a set amount of money towards something. So it could either be towards a mortgage that you're going to buy, as in this scenario, or you might deposit money in a bank, so a set amount into the bank. Let's carry on. The mortgage company needs 15% deposit. You have saved £12,000 towards a deposit. Do you have enough deposit? Yes or no? And the famous word explain. Right, we need to know then, first of all, what is 15% of 75,000? Because if we knew that, we could compare it with this value here, the 12,000, and we'd see if we'd saved enough. So let's find out. 10% equals 7,500. I've just moved that place value into the left once. And 5% is half of that value, so that's 3,750. But I want 15%, so if I actually add these two values together, that will give me my 15%. So let me add them over here. I'm going to be good this time and put the pound. Oh, that's not very good, is it? Let's get rid of that mistake that I've just done there. It's got to be right. Let's put a pound sign in. Let's add these together. So 0, 5, 2, carry the 1, 11. So 15% is 11,250. You have saved 12,000. The question is, do you have enough? Well, you do, don't you? Because you've got more than what you need. So we tick a yes there. And it says explain with supported calculation. So what I've just done here, this is my supported calculation, and now I just need to explain it. So yes. Oh, there's that line again. I can't be bothered getting rid of it this time. Yes, because I have saved 12,000 and I only needed 11,250. That's your explanation. Have a go at this one yourself. So it's very similar, just but with different numbers. So a house is 125,000 to buy. The mortgage company needs a 20% deposit. You've got £18,000 towards it. Do you have enough? So pause the video and then we'll go through the answers. Let's see how you got on. Here are my workings out. Overall, I found that no, I did not have enough, and I did this because I worked out 10%, which was 12,500, but I needed 20, so I added another 10%, and what I needed overall was £25,000. So the deposit needed is 25,000, and I only have 18,000 saved. Let's try a different percentage calculation. So this is the one where you are comparing. So this is high level 1 going into level 2. Two stores are selling the latest iPad. So Store Megatron, their iPad is £500, and there's a sale today, 10% off. And we want to know, well, what are we going to pay if we go to that store? Or Store Bumblebee. Sorry, the references are Transformers. I was watching the movie. Their iPad is £520, but in the sale it's 15% off. So how much are we going to pay? The question actually is, well, which store sells the cheaper iPad? Don't forget to actually answer the question. So let's start with Store Megatron. We need to know, first of all, if we're getting 10% off, we need to know, well, what is 10% then? What is 10% of 500? Well, that equals £50. So the new price of their iPad equals the original amount, 500, take away £50. So that means that their iPad is £450. Not bad. Still very expensive. Store Bumblebee. We need to know what 15% is. So let's start off finding what 10% of £520. Well, that's 52. And we need to know what 5% is, which is half the amount. So that's 26. Let's add these together because that will give us our 15%. So £78. That's the 15%. It's 15% off. So the new price is the original amount, take away £78. Let's do, oh, there's that funny line again. Let's do a bit of takeaway. Well, this is a bit awkward, isn't it? I can't take 8 from 0. I'm going to borrow 1 there. Put that there. So 10 take away is 2. Can't take 7 away from 1. So I'm going to borrow 1 from the 5. So now it's 11 take away 7. That's 4. And then that should be a 0 there. 4 take away 0 is 4. So their price is £442. Which store sells the cheaper iPad? Well, it's Bumblebee. So it may have been more, but the percentage off was higher. But it was close. It was close. So you're going to try this one. It's a very similar thing. So two stores have had to increase the prices of their mugs. So Store Mugly, I chose that one because there is actually a very famous dog. He's not with us anymore, bless him, but there was a very famous dog called Mugly, simply because he was very ugly. And yeah, that was in my mind. So Store Mugly. Their mugs were £2, but now they are 20% dearer. So note that I've put the word increase here. And then there's Store Fabimug. Their mugs are £1.70, and now they're 10% dearer. Which store sells the more expensive mug? Sorry. So pause the video and have a go. Okay, here are my findings. So I'm going to start with Store Mugly. I found 20%, which was 40p. So the new price, if it was £2 before and now it's 40p more expensive, it means that I've added them together. So their mug was £2.40. Now we've got Store Fabby mug. So this was only 10% dearer. So I found 10%, which was 17 pence. The new price of the mug, then I've added them together, £1.87. So Store Mugly is definitely the more expensive. There's a big jump between those two. And I think I've just been able to slip in a picture of Mugly. There he was, and I would definitely buy a mug of him. That's the end of this video. Thanks for watching.